captains of a curiosity voyage.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the Serenity Podcast. My name is Beth, and I'm Witty Knitting on Ravelry and Instagram.
And I'm Tracy, and I'm Phoenix Fire on Ravelry and Phoenix Fire _knits on Instagram. We forgot our names for a minute. It's been a while.
I knew my name, I just couldn't remember where it's my name. And now on the Making app, I reserved my username on there. Have you heard about this?
No, I've seen things on Instagram, but I haven't done anything with it.
I don't even really know what's happening. I just know, like, Making Magazine, they have this other account now that's like the Making app, and I don't know, there's going to be all sorts of cool stuff.
I'll have to check it out.
Like, well, I better go and make sure nobody else is Witty Knitting because it's my name.
It's a really good name. I always think about changing mine. I haven't yet, though, obviously. It's a name I thought was okay when I joined Ravelry in 2007. And now I'm like, I didn't realize it was going to be such a big deal. I was just,
well, yeah,
that was a login thing.
I've had mine for, like, I don't know what, over 10 years, like 13, 15, I don't know, however many years, and I'm still not sure about it.
No, yours is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, so I was so glad when I got a text from Beth asking if I wanted to record today because it's still in the 50s this morning. It had been so hot for so long, so I could get to wear another sweater. It's not gonna last much longer, this nice weather, but it's beautiful today. It's a little overcast, low 50s. I get to wear my Boxy that any of our ZK friends got to see the last ZK 2019. I think this was my ZK knitting in 2019.
Oh,
Yeah, look at it, it's so pretty. I love it. It's so comfortable, lightweight, perfect for this kind of weather. And it is, I think, 3 skeins of Rock and String Creation. I can't remember the color. Urban Oasis, maybe? Urban Oasis. This is the most expensive free skein I ever got. Because here's what happened. I won the skein of this yarn in a contest, and I loved it. And I didn't want to make socks out of it because I loved it so much. So then I had to buy another skein that was on sale. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So now I've got a big project for $20. And then I decided I wanted to be a sweater, so I had to buy another one. Maybe 2 more. I can't remember. It was either 3 or 4 skeins I ended up with, but one was free, so it was a bargain, right?
I mean, it's more of a bargain than if you would have just straight out bought all of it, right?
That's true, yeah.
No.
And I love Erin, so it was nice to be able to support her too. Yes, she's moving. She's having a moving sale. So if you like any of Rock and String Creations colorways, check her out on her website. I think she has her own website now, Rock and String Creations. Maybe I'll remember to link it in the show notes. We'll see. But yeah, she's moving, so she's having a big sale.
And will still be dyeing?
Yes, definitely will still be dyeing. I think she said she even is going to have a dedicated dye space in the new house. I can't remember. Yeah. I'm having a lot of issues with my memory here lately. I've had brain fog for a couple of weeks.
I think it's okay if you've had brain fog for the past year.
It's true. It's true. Hybrid teaching is kicking my butt. That's one thing. And then I'm just wondering if I had COVID after being back at work for 2 weeks because I've had some crazy symptoms and still having a lot of brain fog. So anyway, I haven't had a test, so I can't say it for sure, but I can't help but wonder because I've been not myself. What's that lovely thing you're wearing?
This is the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along from this past year. What's it called?
Is it Slipstravanza?
Yeah.
That's the one. Yep.
Thank you. I never would have remembered that. See, what brain fog, Tracy? You're like...
I just watched Nitty Natty's latest episode yesterday, and she had just finished hers.
Okay.
Just finished it. And it's in my mind because she was holding it up and showing it off, and it was gorgeous and beautiful, and there was a giant hole. And I was talking to the screen, and Michael thought I'd lost my mind. So like, Natalie, there's a hole in your shawl. It's a huge hole. Don't you see the hole? And eventually she did, but she held it up for a good 10 minutes and kept talking about this yarn and that yarn. And then suddenly she's like, oh my God. It's like, you see it, it's a hole.
Not the holes that are supposed to be there?
No, it was above the holes that were supposed to be there, which is probably why she missed it for so long. It was in the stockinette section between the little little honeycomb thing. Yeah, I kind of want to point the screen and say it was right there, but that will not be helpful to anybody.
Oh, this thing is so big. I love it.
So pretty.
I was very unsure when I started. And even like if I had seen the finished thing, I'm not sure I ever would have made one. But I love everything about this. And it makes me kind of want to do the knit along next time. But at the same time, I was on, like, I spent all of my time knitting it and I was on maternity leave.
I think I saw this morning that he's doing a blanket version of it now. If you would like to wrap yourself up in that from head to toe.
It practically is a blanket. And I'm a large person. Like,
forget making a blanket, just make a second one and sew them together.
There you go. But it is a fun way to play with color. And I think that's what I love so much about it is I love the colors that I used.
It looks really good on you too.
Thank
These
you.
are flattering colors.
Thank you. If you saw my stash, you would know that there's a lot of blue and pink.
I feel like I have seen your stash.
There's some.
Stash.
And there's some in here, and then there's some over the end of this whole room. This is the most valuable room in the house.
Now you put that on the internet. Everyone will know when they break in to go to your basement.
You know, I bet someone could come in here and steal 30% of my yarn and I wouldn't notice. I hit 31 and up and it's all over, but.
Oh, I probably need to sell 30% of my yarn to make up for. We've had a rough week. So beyond the issues with the dog last time I recorded, we also had some HVAC issues. So we had some people come in and work on our HVAC and got that taken care of and settled. And then that same evening, I went into the yarn palace and flipped the light switch and it didn't come on. And then I was like, well, let's see if my computer's charged. Computer wasn't charging. The plug-in light wasn't working. Had no electricity out here whatsoever. So I had to call an electrician. And apparently the HVAC people had knocked a bulb loose under the house, which had caused a short, which made me lose electricity out here. And then we had to call an electrician. Can we have one normal week, please? Nothing goes wrong. Just the one normal week. But no, we can't.
Speaking of electricians, trying to figure out how to say this in a way that's gonna make me not sound like a jerk. We're in a different financial place than either of our families were when we were growing up, Matt and I. So we don't even like having an electrician come in or like having a person come in. That's like the last resort. Like we don't even think about that until there are like 15 steps up to that. When really the most efficient way that we can totally afford now is to call an electrician or whatever. So when we first moved into this house about probably 6 years ago, we had something plugged in our entryway that made everything go poof, and then the lights went out in there just in the entryway, and we never couldn't get the lights back ever again. But there was still power in the outlets. This is so boring, and we're a knitting podcast, but here we go.
Now everybody's a detective trying to figure out what's the problem.
So, Matt looked at it a couple times. My uncle, who helped build this house years ago, looked at it a couple times. It's weird because it was added on, so it's this separate thing, and then they could never find the breaker to shut off the power to mess with it more. And so we just had a lamp plugged in our entryway for about 5 years so that there would be light out there. We got new light fixtures. We tried all these different things. And then the final thing was they thought it was probably a loose connection somewhere. But to get to it, you'd have to cut a hole in the ceiling.
Oh my goodness.
To get to where this loose connection would be, because there's no other way to get into what's that space called between the ceiling and the roof?
The attic?
The
crawl
attic
space?
Of the entryway?
No.
Our house has an attic, but anyway. So finally, I'm like, okay, can we please have lights in our entryway? It's been 5 years.
You were very patient.
So we called an electrician, and he came out, and he's like, yeah, you're probably gonna have to cut a hole in the ceiling, and it's probably a loose connection. So Matt cut a hole in the ceiling, and it was a loose connection. We have lights in our entryway now.
Yay!
Yay! So yeah, we paid an electrician, some odd amount of money to tell us that, yeah, it's the thing you thought. Go ahead and try that.
Wow. But I couldn't help but laughing first said that, because we had the HVAC issue pretty much since we moved in, and just finally decided to take care of it. And then we bought a new breaker and tried to replace it and did all these steps ourselves before we finally got the electrician. So I totally relate to what you're saying there. But so our house was built in 1880, and we added on to it. So when we got the house, they told us we really needed 2 HVAC systems, one for the old part and one for the new part, and that he highly recommended getting 3, one for upstairs and the old part, downstairs and the old part, and one in the new part. And we're like, yeah, that sounds expensive. We're going with 1. So the kids are often very, very cold in the winter. Well, Michael and I are so warm, we have to close the vent so that all the air goes to the front of the house. And we really wish now we had done that when we moved in, but it just looked so expensive. The idea of paying for it until we were old people was just not, we didn't like that. We didn't like the idea.
Mm-hmm.
But the good news is that our kids now don't feel cold, they say. And it was 40 degrees last night, and Renna was sleeping with a box fan going full blast. So apparently it's true.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, one more boring grown-up thing, and then we can talk about knitting.
All right. Michael, you can cut this out if you need to.
So we live out in the country. There's this great debate about whether the road, so there's a gravel road and then our house off of it in one direction and our neighbor in the other. And there's this great debate about whether it's like a township road or a such and such road. I don't know, whatever. Well, the people who matter have decided that it's only to a certain point that it's this township road. So we get this much of our road they maintain, and the rest, it's whoever's responsibility to maintain. So that really should be 4 parties, but 2 of them don't live down here, so they don't care. So it's our neighbor and us, and we maintain the road, which means putting a lot of gravel on the road.
That's pricey.
Do you want to guess how much money we just spent on gravel?
$8,000.
Oh, God. Might as well just tar the driveway.
It is expensive, though. That's what my parents ended up doing.
Okay, well, now it sounds way less dramatic.
Yay, I'm so glad I could help.
$1,100.
Woo.
$1,100, and that's not going to be enough. We're gonna have to do more.
Yeah, always have to do more as a gravel drive.
Oh, something I never thought about is how much I would spend on dirt in my adulthood.
To continue this boring story even further, my dad got a late in life job working for an asphalt company, and so he would put down asphalt. That was his job when he was in his 50s and 60s. And every time there was some left over at the end of a project, he would drive the truck to our house and put whatever was left in the driveway. And so very slowly over the course of 5 or 6 years, he paved their driveway.
So they have like a patchwork driveway.
They do. And it's funny because he didn't pave the part that connects with, they also have the dirt road issue, but my aunt lives next door. And then I had a mobile home in front of their house before I was married, and now someone's renting that. So he didn't do theirs. He just did the part that's my parents' part of the driveway is paved, and the rest of it's gravel. So it's kind of weird looking, but yeah, patchwork gravel is the best way to patchwork gravel and asphalt. At first, it was just the part where he parked his truck, and then it was the part right in front of the carport, and a little over time, it was all the way down the hill. I didn't want to waste it.
Well, yeah.
Yay, knitting. What are we knitting? That's enough gravel and HVAC. Electricians.
I guess. Okay.
Join us for more next week.
Well, and the reason that I finally got like, okay, let's actually solve this entryway problem is I want to like redo our entryway. Like I want to paint and I want to make it nice, because right now it's just the dumping zone of the shoes and the snow pants and the bleh.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but once you make it nice, it will still just be a dumping ground.
Yes, but I feel like it'll be at least there's like a dumping place for each thing.
Mm-hmm. You think that?
The entire thing.
I'll do a video of our beautiful entryway for Instagram and let you see what a mess it is. Ridiculous. And everybody in my house is old enough to know better, but we still do it.
Well, maybe I'll do a before and after. I'll do a before we clean anything, and then the before of like, here's what our entryway looks like when it's tidy, and then what it looks like when it's all pretty and done.
Mm-hmm.
And then
a week later.
Trash pit again. Yeah, a week later.
3 hours later in my
3
case.
hours later, probably.
We should make another channel for this because some people are really into that.
And I already feel like I don't contribute enough to this. You and Michael do all the work.
No, we don't know what we're doing.
I start 1 week to reply to comments, and then the next week I don't do anything at all. And then I want to be
You're
good.
good. You're good. We don't know what we're doing, so hopefully this is okay. Joy says she can't hear us sometimes, and I don't know what to do.
Oh.
I don't know. We're sorry, Joy. We hope you can hear us. I'm gonna blame Michael. Turn the volume up, Michael. I like your mug.
Do you?
I do.
This mug makes me really happy.
Yay.
It's 11 and Darth Vader. Guess who's stronger? And I don't know if it's supposed to have that like foggy looking, or if my dishwasher kind of ruined this.
Oh no, that's the Force. That's fine.
It is? Okay.
That's the aura of the Force, definitely.
I mean, that's what I thought. That's what we'll say.
It's true. We'll say that because it's true.
Carrie got me this for my birthday one year.
She gets good mugs.
This stuffed full of mini skeins. And another one that with, is it Hopper? Why can I not think?
Mm-hmm.
With
Spoiler, he's in Russia.
That says, mornings are for coffee and contemplation. My favorite.
You got me that on an enamel pin. It's on my jacket.
I have
Love
that
it.
enamel pin.
That was my first enamel pin. Look what you did. Look what you did. Look what you did.
Oofta. Oh my gosh, that
There's
was.
3 bags covered in pins.
I feel like a lot of those are for me, perhaps.
I think so. Oh, Buffy's upside down. It says, "What would Buffy do?" I love that one. This one's from Elizabeth Warren, so that when I don't get my "I voted" sticker when I go by mail, I'll always have it. Thanks, Liz. We actually met her back in November of 2019. I think it was November 2019. And we took a lot of pictures, and the Google Home thinks that she's related to us. She keeps popping up with our family.
Yes.
Love it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
There's also a picture of you on there too, but not the one that we have in the podcast. It's the one where you're wearing a hat and I'm knitting the hat while it's on your head. That one's in our Google Home. It makes me happy when it pops up.
I think I made that my profile picture on Discord.
It's a good picture. Thank you, Brenda, for taking that picture. Now we've complimented Brenda and Carrie, and neither of them are watching, so
I'll watch eventually.
Maybe someday.
They are special.
Maybe someday. Speaking of ZK, I'm only knitting for the ZK knit along. Both of my projects are for bonuses for the ZK knit along.
Me too.
But I think I'm going to do one more pair of socks after this, and I'm just going to knit what I want for the rest of the year.
I always do this.
I think I'm done. Everybody's having so much fun with it, and then I'm like, I'm kind of done. I just want to knit my things.
My problem is, oh my god, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish. And
I know 100% I will not finish my March project unless they give us an extension.
March. Is March the 20th?
Not March, I'm sorry. April. It's April now. April.
Okay.
I told you I'm crazy. Well, the March and April is twinning, so you have to finish your twinning project in April, and that was the March challenge. So it kind of makes sense, and I'm not doing that challenge anymore. I'm doing the enabling challenge. How long does that last? Is that just this month? I don't know.
I kind of don't know.
I kind of feel like it is, but there's no way I'm going to finish because I picked a huge one, and I don't know why I did this. Okay, yeah, I do. It's been in my queue forever. I love it. I really wanted to knit this project in this yarn, and it's not ZK yarn or a ZK designer, but it works for enabling. So I am making Old Romance by Jojo Locatelli, and I love it so much. Oh, there's a weird shadow there. That's not pulling. That's a weird shadow. Isn't it gorgeous? My sleeve.
I want one.
It's like I finally have figured out what I'm doing. For a while, it was just like origami and hoping for the best, and finally, I've got both sleeves. That's an actual sleeve. Michael asked me, "Are you going to sew the sleeves together?" And I said, "No, because then I can fit my arm in it." He's like, "Oh, I see. It's already a sleeve. Isn't that pretty?"
So any Joji?
Yeah, Joji was one of their first speakers on the Discord channel, and so she could enable us. Anyone who's done who's led us a talk on the Discord channel works. Oh, I love this so much. So as I said last time, this is my last remaining skeins from my 2019 trip to the UK. This one is Eden Cottage that I got at Loop London. It's so pretty. And then the main color is from Ginger Twist Studio. It's her hand dyed. The owner of Ginger Twist Studio does her own hand dyed. And I can't remember the color. It's Dove. The color is Dove. Her card is the cutest.
That is adorable.
It's so much. It says Dove plus one of a kind, so I'm kind of worried that this particular skein was a little off, but I'm going to keep going and hope for the best. As I've got 4, thanks to Kim Tappa KP Tappa KP on Instagram. Bad Knitter was on Ravelry, I think, unless she's changed it. She was my yarn mule because I didn't buy quite enough to do my project. So happened to see on Instagram that she was in Edinburgh the next week. How does this work? It's like, oh, Kim.
That's
Don't you want to go
yarn.
yarn shopping while you're in Edinburgh? She's like, yeah, I really do.
Yarn magic.
So she brought me a skein home. South Carolina's a lot closer to me than Edinburgh.
No way.
Seriously. And then she mailed it. She's like, this shipping seems kind of pricey for just one state away. I was like, no. It was gonna be like $30 from the UK. I will pay what they ask. Thank you so much. So I think that's supposed to be finished by the end of April for the long, and that's not going to happen. I still have 13 inches of stockinette to go, and then the pickup stitches all the way around the front and the neck and back down for a band. So not happening. Not happening in April, but I love it, and I'm happy to be getting it.
It's possible you have until the end of May.
It's possible, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
I'm just gonna knit it until it's finished, and then post it for yardage and hope for the best. Maybe by the time I finish, I'll know what I'm doing. I think I watched their last podcast too, and I still don't know what's up. Maybe I didn't finish it because brain fog. I don't know what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I've done or what I'm doing.
I hear you, man. So I'm still working on my twinning projects, and I have to finish because I've committed to another person.
Mm-hmm. You have to.
I would already be over it. Not I wouldn't be like I would still finish these projects, but I wouldn't feel so much like looking at the calendar and like, okay, I have to finish a sleeve by that day and probably like this by that day, and then I still have to somehow finish these socks. Wah! So it's gonna
finish mine, but still haven't posted my twinning project. I'm looking outside to see how the weather is because I've got to get pictures that are good.
We had snow on the ground this morning, and we're supposed to get 1 to 3 inches tomorrow.
Minnesota's on drugs.
I'm over it. The only months I have not experienced a snow day are now September and May. So there can be big snow. Anywhere from October through the end of April.
We got 0 snow days this year.
Yeah, we actually didn't have any this year at all. We would have had we not been distance learning for so much of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see my sock or my sweater?
Ooh, start with sweater.
Okay.
Then we'll show socks together.
Okay. I love this. I'm knitting a Weekender Light, which is by my dear friend Andrea Mowry. Just kidding. She does not claim me as her friend, I'm sure.
She would. I'm sure she would. We just have to get you in a room together.
And it's in a shop knitting Nelly bag.
Oh, it's so gorgeous.
Because I love my shop knitting Nelly bags. And I have a really wicked strategy for buying them, which I'm not going to tell you.
Nope.
Okay. So the body is done.
Oh, that's so pretty.
It's Lavender Loon in her BFL 150 yarn in the Primrose Park colorway. And
I love it so much.
I put it on the other day before I picked up for the sleeve, and I was just sitting there wearing it, and I kind of forgot. We were just sitting at night watching a movie, and Matt looked over at me and just started laughing, and I was like, I didn't do anything funny. Oh, I'm wearing a sweater with no sleeves. Just picked up for the sleeve.
Have you ever heard of a vest, Matt? A vest is a thing.
Duh. Ooh, and weren't you saying you knit one out of 2 skeins of that? Or you knit a sweater out of 2 skeins of the BFL 150?
So my Weekender Light is 2 skeins of Leading Man Fiber Arts, and they have the same base. It's the exact same base. And it took less than 2 skeins, yeah.
Okay, because I have, after the body, this much left after the second skein.
The second skein?
Second skein. So I just am into my third.
You were also knitting it at a tighter gauge than me too.
Really?
Yeah, because I knit mine on 4.
Well, me knitting on 2 is probably like a regular person knitting on a.
I don't know. Mine's very airy. I love it. It's perfect for here.
Definitely a little more dense, but it already fit like, but after I block it, it's just going to be so big and cozy. So excited.
We're going to be so cute. We're going to record a podcast in June wearing our matching weekender lights. And if we have to turn the AC in the hotel room to 60, that doesn't, we're going to do it. We're going to be so cute.
I'm so excited.
Well, I wonder if we'll have an excursion where we get to paint and we can have paintings above our, that was so cute. We made paintings of alpacas last time. And then we came home and we decorated our hotel room with them. Came home and decorated the hotel room with our paintings. It was such an adorable hotel.
The other thing I was going to say is, after this, giant room full of yarn, I have learned that I do a much better job of knitting projects, especially big projects, when I plan the project and then buy the yarn for it, rather than just buying whatever yarn I think is pretty. So 2 years in a row now, or not this past, but the last 2 years we were there, I bought lavender. No, I bought it at the virtual ZK. So the last 2 years,
okay, so, yeah.
I bought sweaters quantities of lavender loom yarn and a sweater. And so I think that's a new thing that I do now, is I buy a sweater quantity from Lavender Loom and then I knit it into a sweater.
Nice. Well, the yarn I used for mine, I had bought for another project and then decided I wanted the Weekender Light. So I bought a sweater quantity knowing it was going to be a sweater, just not knowing which sweater. And I love it so much. I can't wait to wear that this summer.
I'm honestly so excited that I won't use all this, will I, on my sleeves?
No, no, because it's not nearly as ridiculous as the tiny little boxy sleeves, but it's still that same idea. You have the drop shoulder, so your sleeves are already going to be down here, so you're just going to knit from here to here.
Yeah, there's like 14 something inches and then some ribbing.
Yes, now I know you have ridiculously long arms, but you will not use you will not use all of that yarn.
This sweatshirt is actually like the same. This is pretty much a like ready to wear version. So I'm like, ooh, I really like this sleeve length. So I'll just measure and make sure that I do about the same, and then it should be good.
If you've never met Beth in person, she's just ridiculously tall. She doesn't look like a tall person sitting there. So I was a little bit caught off guard the first time I saw her stand.
Yeah, I take up a lot of space.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I don't realize how tall I am, and it seems I attract very short people as my close friends.
Well, we need protection.
Yes. So I don't realize until I'm in like a group picture and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I first encountered you on the internet and you were sitting down, and then I saw you at ZK and I kind of sat with you and we hung out, and then you stood up. I was like, wow, she's super tall. My co-teacher in my 4th period class is also extremely tall. She's over 6 feet tall. And we would tell the kids while we're remote, when we get back in the classroom, you're going to be surprised when you see Miss Bertman and Miss Jordan together. It's like Shrek and Donkey. Whirlwind adventure teaching your class.
Well, when I started teaching this year, I was coming off maternity leave, and the kids had a different teacher for the first quarter, and we were in distance learning, so most of them had never seen me in person. And then we did this big thing where all the 2nd grade teachers drove around to their houses dressed like elves and like knocked on their door and brought them little Christmas presents or whatever. And I'm like, okay, they go from seeing my face on a screen to there's a 6-foot elf at your door.
Oh, did I cry?
No.
That would be heartbreaking.
Nobody cried. There were a lot of like awkward, shy little encounters.
I would have done that too at 40.
And
like,
then
oh, hi, elf. Thanks.
I'm trying to remember. The best one was like, I don't remember what she said. Oh, it was so darn cute. She was like, how did you get here? Like she was just, her mind was blown that we were at her house.
How did you get out of your computer?
The magic of Christmas.
Yay. Let's show off our socks. Look, I got mine onto the little needles while we've been talking.
Yay.
Yay, little baby sock. No, this way so you can see the cupcake. Thanks to Milky Robot, I have to have a little cupcake on my knitting.
That reminds me, don't let me forget to show the yarn I picked out to go with that bag.
I will not. Well, yeah, we'll get to that soon.
Okay.
I'm making handspun socks. Look, I've already got one. Isn't that pretty?
It's so pretty. Have I seen that?
You were there when I spun it. I spun this at ZK a million years ago. It's the last time I took my spinning wheel on the plane. That's the year we played Cards Against Humanity with everybody basically, but we did not realize how much fun Patty Joy, the socks therapist, was until we played Cards Against Humanity with her. She was a hoot and a half. And she was kicking our butts too. And we played with Fiona. That's the year Fiona came in from Australia.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
So this has been a super long time. That's when I was spinning the sock yarn. Yeah. Oh, that was a really good year. Every year is a good year, but that one was fond memories of that year. And our Cards Against Humanity. Oh, so yeah, I've got one sock done. This is Dancing Dog Dyeworks. Does she even still dye? I haven't seen her in ages.
I kind of think so, but I kind of think maybe under a different name.
Maybe. Let us know if you know. But she was like one of the big dyers to try to get into their booth early at ZK for the first few years. I got this. I don't know what the fiber is called. I should have brought the tag. It's not like me to forget a tag. I'm sure it had some really fun color name because she always had really fun color names. But it's a 3-ply, and it's a superwash merino, and it's been sitting in my stash ever since whatever that fun year was that we're talking about. And it looks like that balled up. I thought it was going to be really, really red, but it's really not as much red as it is for. Oh no, it does look red in the sock too. I keep thinking there's a lot more green than I thought there was going to be. And then a baby toe.
I really want to be able to spin sock yarn.
You will get there.
Well, I would have to start spinning, which is the thing.
Oh, you're not spinning right now?
No, I haven't since
the wrist thing.
Like September, which is terrible. Like it's, my wheel is sitting right there. I look at it all the time. And I think about how badly I want to try again. And I think I will now because I've been doing all the stretches and I have no pain.
Oh, yay. I was about to have that sit down talk with you. You know, you make enough money, you can go to the doctor.
Well, you know what I did? Because, see, I take my children to the doctor.
Same.
Just my own ailments are like, it'll be fine.
I'll just walk it off.
So we were at one of the appointments. I feel like they've all had one lately. I think it was maybe not Ronan. It was Lulu. And I was like, hey, because she said something about, are you still finding time? I love my doctor, and she knows that I'm a knitter. So she's like, oh, what are you knitting? Oh, what are you having? Because I always have something in my purse. She's like, show me your knitting. She's the best. And she's like, so are you still finding time for like knitting and sewing and da-da-da? And I was like, well, about that. And I like showed her how, where it's hurting. And she's like, oh, yep, you're just going to need to do stretches and do this and that. And sweet, just saved myself $200 coming here again for you to tell me that.
That is a nice doctor.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't ask questions about myself at my child's appointment, but
hey, it worked out. You've stretched it. It feels better. You can get back into spinning soon. I finally finished my spinning project that had been on the wheel since the beginning of the year. All right, ready?
Ooh,
pretty.
that's
So
big.
sweet. Yeah, got it off the wheel and did the whole scanning up thing. I was like, no wonder this took me all year. This is huge. So fluffy. It is. This is some vintage fiber. I wonder if she put the date on it. She did not put the date on it. I did. This is from Hello Yarn. And they did, oh, there we go. So a lot of dyers got together and did a club for Terry Pratchett themed colorways. We had a Terry Pratchett spin along, and Hello Yarn picked my favorite books from the series with the witches. There's a tiny little witch up there in the corner. So if you know anything about Terry Pratchett, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, there are lots and lots of books, and they all take place in Discworld, which is a planet that is being just kind of floating through the solar system on the back of a turtle, and it's flat, obviously, because it's a disc. And there are all these weird characters. There's a mini series on Amazon Prime about the post office that I highly recommend. It's really good. I'll see if I can find the title and link it. Really, if you want to get to Terry Pratchett, that's a good place to start. But all the characters don't show up in every book, but the witches are my favorite characters. And the first time we meet Tiffany Aching, who is a little witch in training, it's in We Free Men. And the We Free Men are these tiny little Scottish men, and they're blue, and they say funny things. Like they call sheep ships, and they call humans big jobs, because we're tall. And so she put on here, ship's wool for big jobs. So Tiffany befriends the We Free Men, and she ends up meeting a witch who takes her on as her mentor. And there's several books about Tiffany, but she's my favorite, my absolute favorite of the Discworld characters. So of course I had to get her colorway. You can't grow a good witch on chalk. I mean, yeah, if you've read the book, you know what it means. If not, highly recommend it. We Free Men, so good. And I got, let's see. So of my can't grow a good witch on chalk, I got 524 yards from 4 ounces. It's 2-ply. I split it up to be fractal so that the colors will have a lot of barber pulling. It's so pretty. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it. Probably won't give this one away because it is something special to me. Terry Pratchett actually died during our spin along.
Yeah, I think you said that last time.
Yeah.
That is sad.
I'll probably keep this one, but don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I love it. That's all I've finished in 2 weeks. But it was a lot. That took a lot more. Usually I spend about 30 minutes a week just to keep my skill level up. But it took a while to apply that, so probably spent an hour and a half plying that the other night.
Do you love plying though, or is that just like a beginner thing?
No, I do not love plying, and I don't think it's just a beginner thing, because I've heard other people say it too. I feel like it was Amanda Witt who said that plying was her favorite part, seeing the colors come together. And I was like, really? Because I like spinning the single, but then it seems like plying it takes forever. I love seeing what it looks like it was done, but plying is not my favorite part.
It's my favorite. I'm like, oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna? Well, and also I'm not experienced enough to feel like I really know what I'm doing, or I have kind of an intention and maybe it'll work out like that. And so when I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's working. Oh.
I should spin you lots of singles while you ply them.
Don't tease me. That sounds really fun.
Oh Lord, that's everything I've got. Can you believe that? I'm still working on my blankets. Someday I might do a one-off where I show off my scrappy projects.
I thought about doing like well, if you'd be okay with it, I thought about doing like a mini, like if I finish something and want to talk in depth about it, doing like a little extra mini
do it
thing. Okay.
Do it.
Because I felt that way about my shawl I made, Illuminaria shawl.
Oh yeah.
Like after the podcast, I was like, oh, I should have said this, and I should have said that, and I should have said this, and I would have suggested this and that and that.
Yeah, do it. Do it. We just start surprising each other with little like 15-minute things.
Oh, that reminds me. I was going to tell you, and I'm glad that we're recording while I'm telling you that. So the other day, I don't remember what we were doing, but we were playing, the girls and I were like playing in their room, and Lulu said something, I think maybe had like a pretend phone or something, and she was like, Mom, who you want to call? Brenna? Or Tracy? Or Grandma and Grandpa? And so Brenna is my like real life like BFF. Not that you know what I mean.
How am I feeling? Yeah, I got you.
You're also a real life
Yeah.
BFF. We only get to be in real life together.
I'm the
like,
long distance BFF.
yes, you're my long distance BFF. So she like you were listed above Grandma and Grandpa, which
That's pretty awesome.
big deal. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
I feel like I should apologize to Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie wasn't even on the list.
Oh, sorry, Carrie.
Sorry, Uncle Carrie.
Say Uncle Carrie.
Yeah, they keep accidentally calling her Uncle Carrie. Like all the aunts, they say uncle instead of.
Oh, my kids called their they had an Aunt Greg, not Aunt Greg, they had Uncle Greg, but they pronounced it Apple, Greg, and Aunt John. And I was like, no. It was cute for a minute, and I was like, they're gonna say this in front of people.
Yeah.
Uncle Carrie's cute.
Other things that are kind of cute, but like I hope they don't say in front of other people is so my parents, they just call Grandma and Grandpa, and Matt's parents, they call Nana and Papa, which you would think would be enough to differentiate, but it's not. So they call my mom white-haired Grandma, which is like, that's fine. She has white hair. She's not shy about that. It's okay. But they call my dad brown-skinned Grandpa, and he is just like permanently leathery tan from being like a farmer who's never put sunscreen on his body. But I'm just like, yeah, maybe we like shouldn't go around calling your
That's a little weird.
Wild hillbilly grandpa brown skin grandpa.
You should have taught them Foxy Nana. That's what I call your mom.
I don't think she would appreciate that. Like, I don't think she would.
I thought she liked it. I think I called her that to her. Did I not call her that to her face? I don't know.
She liked it from you.
Oh, okay.
Probably not her real. I mean, she likes you. She loves Carrie and she loves me and she likes you.
It's true. Guys, she said this when I rode to ZK with the family.
One time my mom brought us to ZK.
As we were getting out of the car, she gives them a hug goodbye and says, love you. And then she said, I don't like you. I like you too, Foxy Nana.
I really like my mom.
She's pretty awesome. She's the only mom who's ever driven me to ZK. Not counting you, of course.
Was I a mom though when I drove us? Yeah, I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were.
Together. I don't remember.
You were not a mom yet when Foxy Nana drove us, were you? Or is that the year Aspen was born? Might have been the year Aspen. No, because we didn't take her with us. That was the year you were pregnant with Aspen. And you picked me up at the airport and my planes were so late. It was awful. Every plane was late. I sat for hours in Chicago, hating my life.
Carrie and I just sat at the airport drinking Starbucks coffee and knitting. So pretty much fine. A dream day.
The last time was perfect though, because I got off the plane, got to the area for the pickup line was, sat down, was about to take out my knitting to wait for them, and then got a text, we're here. It was awesome. Ran out the door, there was my ride. That was perfect.
Meant to be. Okay, should I show the newish prize?
You should. I'm getting mine ready. It's crinkling.
So the next time we record, we will be announcing the winners, right?
Yes, and I haven't even cast on my projects yet.
You haven't done any? Yes, you have.
I've done some that count, but I had two really big ones I was excited about. I was going to Copycat Stephanie, hot pink socks. She's now Farmstead Knits, I believe. I was going to copy one of her sweaters like, down to the yarn, same pattern, same yarn, 100% copycat. I've had this sitting around for years, haven't cast it on, never started it. And then my other was I was going to copycat Bernie Sanders mitts because why would I not copycat Bernie Sanders? That was pretty awesome. But no, got everything in a bag. Both projects are in a bag. All the yarn, the pattern is waiting to go. And I got derailed by ZK.
So we don't have a plan for our next knit along, do we?
We had talked about getting things out of our stash.
That's right.
And your friend Chrissy called it a knit-a-thon. And I love that so much.
I love that too.
To have a knit-a-thon.
So
how many yards can we knit out of our stash?
You can work on those during the knit-a-thon.
I can work on those during the knit-a-thon. But now I have other ideas too. I don't
but
know.
also,
Lots of
it
things
doesn't matter if you or I actually do.
It's true. That is absolutely true. And basically, I've brought so little into the stash lately that almost all of my yarns are eligible for a knit-a-thon as stash. We should set a date that if it's purchased before the day the knit-a-thon starts, it counts as stash. Because I also kind of had some alcohol with dinner last night and then noticed that Teeny Button had some mystery skeins. So my inhibitions were low.
How many did you get?
3.
What weight?
And they're all fingering weight. And I think I was only able to get 1 sparkle and then 2 tough sock, I believe. All the soft sock was gone before I remembered.
Okay.
So thanks, beer. I missed the soft sock.
But
I might not pull the trigger if I had. Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait.
I have been so cloudy headed lately. I haven't had alcohol in like a month. And then I had wings for dinner last night. I was like, I have to have a beer with wings. I was feeling a little buzzy off of 1 beer. It was stupid. It was really stupid.
Okay, over the past 6 years, I have either been pregnant or nursing like the vast majority of the time. So now even the littlest amount of it, because obviously you don't drink typically.
Yeah.
During those times.
Yep.
So now it's like the littlest bit, and I'm like, woo! Take my phone. Don't let me buy the yarn.
Oh my God, I will get on Instagram and reply to people that I don't even know in real life. And what is wrong with me? I posted something to my story once and then Cheryl replied and I was looking at her reply going, what is she talking? What did I post? I have no idea. I read something in my stories. I had no idea what I was talking about. So it's like, Cheryl, I apologize. I had been drinking when I don't know what's happening anymore.
So who knows what'll end up on your doorstep? I mean, there might be more than the Teeny Button yarn.
True. It's true. I don't buy a lot, but who knows who I'm going to upset on Instagram's the problem.
Yeah.
I think I'm funny. I think I'm really funny when I do that. And I'm not sure if I am or not.
Every time.
Yeah.
Okay, so our current knit along that'll be over the end of the month is the copycat Cal. So basically you see someone's project and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to knit that too. And then you do. Or you see them use the same and you're like, oh, I have that same yarn. I'm going to use that too in a completely different project, but I want to use that yarn. And then you post on Instagram and use the hashtag SK copycat KAL.
That sounds right.
Pretty sure.
It's in the show notes. It will be in the show notes.
And if you're
copy and paste that.
If you're a private account, you need to tag us, right? Is that how that works?
Yes, tag us if you're a private account.
So that we can see.
Yes, and if you have tagged me before and you followed me and I didn't follow back, send me a message and say, hey, I'm so-and-so from the podcast. I've left you a message and I'm really bad about it. I think I followed everybody back. But if I miss somebody, I apologize. So that way I can see your stuff even if we're not tagged, right? If they tag us, we can see it, right?
I think so.
Okay. Anyway, follow us. Let us know so we can follow you back and see your things.
Pretty sure.
So your awesome copycat cow entries. My prize is wrinkly. Hold on. Sorry.
And really, your chances are pretty good because we're just like a small group of people, man. So
We're just a baby podcast.
yeah. And there's
DK
only
people, whatever you did for your twinning probably is, I'm sure it works, right? I can't think of a way that a twinning project would not work for this. So, talking at zombies, you know who you are. Change your hashtags. Add your hashtag.
add your hashtags.
You can leave your hashtags alone. Just add ours too.
Okay, so there are 3 prizes. One of them is the lovely Stress Knits yarn in the, I know, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, and why did I only buy one set? Because I also bought myself other yarn. Also, she just had a cut flower. Did you see that? Her
I
cut
saw
flower
that. Yes.
mini skein sets. Yeah, there may be 1 or 2 or 3. There are 3 of those coming to my house. My hair is obnoxious today. I feel like I just look dumb.
Oh, I'm loving it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so those minis with, take it out of my sketchy plastic bag. And these need to.
Bag of my dreams. Look how pretty.
Look at this.
So pretty.
This is a Shop Knitting Nelly bag.
Love it.
Okay, and if you actually want to know my trick to getting Shop Knitting Nelly bags.
I'm going to guess. Can I guess?
Yeah.
Set an alarm for the update and log into PayPal first.
Excellent suggestion, but no.
Oh, it's better than that. Okay.
Because I think her updates, she's like a very, you could tell she's just like this very soft, gentle person.
Mm-hmm.
If you like watch her stories and stuff. And I think the updates where everything sells out in like 2 seconds and people get mad is just like a lot.
Yeah, I can tell it upsets her.
Well,
Because
it's
she
like,
writes about it sometimes.
why wouldn't it? You know?
Yeah, and why say something mean if you weren't fast enough to get the bag? Just try again next time.
Yeah, try again next time.
And she does pre-order sometimes. So do the mystery bag pre-order if you really want the bag. That's what I did.
Right. So my trick. Here you go, internet. She's not currently doing scheduled shop updates. So you go to her Instagram and you sign up to be notified when she posts to her story or to her grid, because she usually just puts stuff in her story like, hey, just popped these in the shop, and then boom, you go online and you buy them. Now, if you're really a freak like me, you see that she has posted something, like you get the notification, oh, Shop Knitting Nelly has posted to their story, and then you just go to her website and see if there are bags there. Like, don't even bother opening Instagram.
Yeah, that's just another step that will slow you down.
Yeah. It sounds crazy because it is crazy. It also is very effective. Just saying. I'm also trying not to buy them all anymore because I feel like a bag hog and everyone should have an opportunity to enjoy her lovely stuff.
Pardon me, internet. My battery's running low.
Uh-oh.
Thought I'd plug this in before I started. We're almost done, but wouldn't it be terrible for it just to completely go dead with a minute left to go? Okay. Maybe Michael will cut that out for me. Or maybe he won't.
Maybe, maybe not. And another prize is this lovely
So cute
drawstring project bag with polka dots on the inside from Coffee with the Fool, who is Jess, who is like back in the knitting game.
Yay.
So go check her out.
She posted some bags yesterday, but they were for cards.
Mm-hmm.
They were deck bags.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's nice to see people. I collect. It's ridiculous. I collect tarot cards. At least I used to collect tarot cards, and every now and again I'll still go get one that's like a print that's just really cool. So it's interesting to see people who do that also.
Maybe I knew that. Okay, so immediately before hopping on here with Tracy, I was like, oh, I never grabbed yarn to go with that bag. And what I really want is this like funky
chartreuse.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
swampy green, but I don't have anything like that. But look at this that I found.
Ooh.
Isn't that pretty? It is,
That is pretty.
Barnyard Knits. And she had kind of like the teeny button thing. She was doing these like misfit. It wasn't regular skeins. They were misfit skeins, but it's like you just said how many you wanted, and then you got these mystery packs of yarn.
It's
So
interesting what dyers consider misfits because they're so gorgeous.
Well, I know. And I'm like, there's this little bit of blue that I've wondered if that's not supposed to be there. I have no idea because to me it looks
It looks good.
so
I
pretty.
like it.
So I thought that went really well.
It does.
With the bag because it has some of the light colors and then it's kind of like there's like a peachy reddish to it. And then this is like deep stash, but I just had to. Ba-bam.
Oh, wow. That's that apple pink.
So this is Everything Old, which is not even a thing anymore.
I remember Everything Old.
You do?
Is it our Emma? Is that right, Em? It's been a while. I do remember this.
Well, was, but is actually transgender, so is now.
I did not know that.
I can't remember his name. Knit Fast Dye Cozy on Instagram. Oh, I can't remember his name.
Okay. I did not realize that. I learned so much.
So bad that I can't remember his name. But very interesting person to follow because he's always posting about like a little bit of knitting, but not so much anymore as now like I think they just moved and like gardening and like ripping out all the old garden stuff and
yeah, I feel like on the few occasions where I get to the end of my Instagram feed and you keep scrolling, they show you stuff that they think you might like. I feel like that's popped up before. That sounds familiar. So I'll check them out.
Yeah. So this is a prize.
Cool, I love it.
If this were me, I wouldn't even knit with these two together because I can't mix a single base with applied base. It's like a thing in my head that I don't like. And not that they really go together either, but they somehow go with this bag.
They do. They look good with the bag.
So
that's one prize for one lucky winner. I added stitch markers to my prize.
Woo.
So I have a bag from Twist Fiber Studio with all of these copycat sweaters. And it has a zipper pull. It is an actual sweater on the needles. And I found these blue stitch markers I thought looked really cute, so I put them on there too. And that comes with a coveted skein of Cat Sandwich, who is dyeing again, by the way. She posted on Instagram that she has dyed some more yarn. I don't think she put it up for sale yet, but she's back. I'm so happy. So happy. I'm not sure if my bank account will be happy.
I know, I'm like, I've just told everyone how much yarn I have. And when I see her yarn, it just speaks to my soul.
That's my aesthetic.
I still can't believe you're giving that away. Like, I know you have a lot. But
I do have a lot.
Are you sure?
I do have a lot. And I think that I'm trying to pick out, oh my gosh. So June is really soon, guys. It's coming up quickly. So I'm trying to pick out my travel knitting for ZK. And I think I'm going to bring some Cat Sandwich for my travel socks. The minty green with brown that you gave me one year for Advent. So I think that's going to make it on the trip. So.
Well, if you're doing that, then I probably should do that too.
More than likely, yes.
I had to look it up, and Knit Fast Dye Cozy is Jamie.
Okay. I do feel like I've seen him before, but didn't put the two and two together.
And another reason too is like he's posted what is it, stories where it's the longer thing that you have to go in and click and watch.
Reels?
No. Is there another thing?
The Instagram TV?
I think maybe it's that.
Yeah.
And he's actually posted about like his, I don't know what the right words are.
Journey?
Yes.
Let's go with journey.
Journey is what I was gonna say.
I'll
I don't know. Like I don't want to.
ask Rena. She knows all these things.
Okay. Well, if I said the wrong thing, I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to say the wrong thing.
Out of ignorance, and we're willing to learn.
Yes, I want to learn. I don't want to.
So I asked Rena because so my 17-year-old daughter really is very, she's got her finger on the pulse of what's happening in the world. I'm like, so to be respectful to my students, I always like welcome, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, that sort of thing. But I know I have students who are non-binary. So what's a good gender neutral way to be respectful to people? And she said, just go with captain.
What?
Morning, captains. It's respectful. Like, I feel weird. Okay.
That's funny. I'm working not to, ladies and gentlemen, just like rolls off the tongue.
Doesn't it?
Why that one?
Captain makes you stop and make a face.
When I talk to my second graders, a lot of the time I'm just like, I call them second graders, which is probably weird for your high school kids, but I'm like,
yeah, they don't like to be called ninth graders.
Blah, 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 but I don't want to say boys and girls or ladies and gentlemen because that's not what I mean. So that's not what I want to say.
My favorite murder, Karen's sister teaches elementary school, and she says, room 8.
I like that. Well, and sometimes it's like, Rosine's class. What else do I call them? I call them strange children. When they do weird stuff.
Oh, that would work.
Strange children. People.
Captains of a curiosity voyage.
Nope. Oh.
I do have a big meme of Dustin from Stranger Things in the front of my room that I've blown up in color that says, I'm on a curiosity voyage and these books are my paddles. So it would work if I have that in the background.
I love him. When does the next one come out?
I can't remember, but it's coming up soon. I want to say it's by the end of the year, October, December. If you know, tell us in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Comments. Always drop it in the chat, kids. Put it in the comments and put us out of our misery. I can't wait. What? Oh, is that our last? Yeah, I thought, yeah. For a second, I was like, you haven't shown your other prize, but you have. So we have 3 prizes. 3 prizes, captains. And they're all awesome. I would love to win any of these prizes.
I'm not even sure that we have entries from more than 3 people. So, like, your chances are. I don't think they're. You want me to check? I'll check. Let's check.
We can check. We can check afterwards. I know I've been tagged in at least 3 Instagram posts. At least. I think I would say more than that. So if you have tagged me on something, you may want to go back and make sure that you have the hashtag so that Beth can see it. Hope that you've gotten tagged too.
Oh, I lied. Well, but did I?
She is, yeah, she's in charge of the spreadsheets for these things because she likes that kind of thing. So make sure she's tagged too.
Yes. Okay. Grandma share. Windy. Blue-eyed crafty lady.
That's Jill, right?
4. Okay. Did it 5, 6. Ah! Okay. So your chances are still really rocking.
Really high.
And some people with more than 1. So 7 people, not including you and I. So those chances are still really, really good.
All right. So get in there, people, if you want to win it.
Kind of makes me want to send something to everyone.
The odds are in your favor.
There's enough yarn in this room for prizes for everyone.
Whew. You could be like Oprah. You can have a prize and you can have a prize.
It's not a car, but you can knit it.
So it's better in a way.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. On that note, we will see you in about 2 weeks. It will be my son's 15th birthday. He'll be getting his permit.
Yay.
I don't know if I want to say yay. And we'll be giving out prizes for everyone, or for a lot of people.
Or everyone.
Stay tuned.
We shall see.
Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.
Curse your inevitable betrayal.
Can subscribe. Yay, can subscribe. Did you hold the button?